Welcome, friends and neighbors. This is RGR Football. We're going to have a good time. The Chiefs maiden edition, or they're going to here when the legal tampering phase is over, and they are going to do job number one. We talked about it. We're going to go over it in depth and answer your questions tonight about protecting Patrick Mahomes, Joe Thuney, and the whole 9 yards. Welcome to RGR Football. If I play... Welcome back, Rogues. I'm Ryan. This is me going rogue on the Kansas City Chiefs, the NFL, the draft, athleticism, and tonight, free agency. So this is going to be fun. A lot of friendly faces in the chat. I have already seen you. I've already got super chats, folks, so I'm going to try to get to you guys as soon as possible. Hopefully, our fearless mod will join us here quickly. Jeff Porter is in the house. Mr. Jeff, I'm glad you're here. We have a couple things to talk about, you and I as well, and I swear I keep meaning to call you and it just ain't happening. But for those of you that are new, Aaron Morrow is our mod tonight. If you have any trouble, check with him. If I miss things, check with him, please, because there are so many chats, they just get away from me. If you are new, put your question marks at the beginning of your question. That'll help me find them, and then Aaron probably won't have to bail me out, at least knock on wood. There's so much to go over tonight. I know you guys are pumped. If you are new, click the like and the sub and the bell notification so you know what happens next, because they could do something while we're on here tonight. I'm going to give you an hour. We got to keep it tight because the family's back after a snow apocalypse up here. I'm on beer number one already. Shout out to the Yuzu IPA from Odell because I've been out shoveling and plowing snow for the last 2 days. I am wore out. So we're going to get right into it. Aaron is in the chat. I do see him now. Glad that you're here. And Aaron, I will try to take it easy on you and keep you from having to do all the heavy lifting. We will get into immediate reaction here on Joe Thuney. You guys have heard me talk about him before. He was a draft crush of mine when he came out. He's a guy that when they were trying to franchise him or work out a long-term deal, they did franchise him in New England. I told you, I was like, this guy's a premier player. He's one of my favorite offensive linemen in the NFL. And I always theorize, hey, it would be great to see him in a Kansas City uniform. But knowing that they were working on that long-term deal in New England and the franchise happened, and I just, quite honestly, he's so good at what he does, I didn't think that Bill Belichick would let him get away. Clearly, I think they're making a shift there in New England, and it is more towards the mobile quarterback. And so I think that they wanted to get younger. Joe's 28. I think that's perfectly fine for what they're going to do in Kansas City. He is a mover. It's going to work out really well. And I love how nasty he is. He had a good game against Aaron Donald. If those of you who don't follow Seth, Seth Kaiser is an old friend of mine. We used to record podcasts together, all kinds of stuff. Go check him out. He will have a review probably up tomorrow, and we'll see if we can con him into coming on here later in the week. If I can get it done, I will get it done. Before I jump into the questions, I'm very positive on the signing for on the field. Is it more money than I would have liked to spend? Yes. I mean, that's pretty much me anytime you spend something on a free agent. But I will say this, with the structure that they did, $4.5 million this cap hit this next year, and then it goes up from there when you should get that big bounce back after they get butts in seats here in this next season. I think it's going to work out just fine. I don't think it precludes them from signing another big name. And for those of you who really want Trent Williams now that it's been rumored, I don't blame you, and I don't think it's off the table. So if you would, hit the like button. That'll help more fans find us tonight. And I got to get to these super chatters. If you want to support the channel, super chat's the easiest way to do it. Just, jump in there, choose whatever dollar amount you want. Doesn't matter to me, but make sure you ask a question so I can get you something for it right away. I super chat friends around YouTube as well. And I know that it does stick out. It does make them easier to find. And so that will help me tonight of all. So let's see. Somebody's already talking about arrogance. I'm going to ignore that. So Aaron will take care of who needs to get bumped. But we're going to go from here. Let's see. Cole's got the first question, and then I'm going to get right to the super chats because you guys are piling them up before faster than I can get to him. So here we go. Do you think that Thuney will be willing to transition to left tackle? I do not. Willing is one thing. I don't think that's the plan. I don't think that's where you want him. He has played guard or center. I think he's got 3 games at center in his career in the NFL. You don't go back to playing tackle after that time, in my opinion. The reason they signed him is for versatility, but I don't think it's guard tackle versatility. It's guard center versatility. I don't know if they're planning to start him at left guard. I think the next viable option is center. I don't think that it's tackle personally. Let's get into these super chatters, and I can get those out of the way. Evan Townsend, were you first, or do I need to back up more? I need to back up more. Okay, 2 people have fallen off, I think. And well, Evan was first anyway. Actually, shout out to AP Payne. Thank you for the super chat yesterday. That wasn't even there. But Evan started, and I can't show this. I'll come back to this question in a second, Evan. But you also asked, which player could the Chiefs draft that would have the most value? Right now, it's edge rusher or left tackle if they don't sign one, in my opinion. I think that's pretty straightforward, to tell you the truth. They could go corner after that, safety after that, linebacker. They could go corner or linebacker before safety for sure. That's where the value is, I think. And it also is what helps them improve their defense right now. Let's see. Marshall. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I did get your first one up there. Marshall's next with the super chat. What does the addition of Thuney mean for Osemele's potential return? It pretty much seals the deal unless they are planning to move him to center. If they plan on Thuney playing center, then Osemele could still be in the mix. He is a street free agent right now, and that's perfectly fine. That's not a problem. He might have a ways still to go. He got hurt, what was it, week 5 or 6, something like that? So he might still have some room to improve and continue his rehab and get back there. We can always see a late addition like Wiz was, those kind of things. I think that's going to continue as we roll forward. Let's see. Anything in between? Oh, shoot. Scrolled too far already. I don't think it's a negative for Allegretti either way. And it looks like I did lose some super chats, so I'm going to have to go back to those manually. I'll take Marshall off here. And it looks like they're going to talk to him, hot and spicy. I don't know that he gets in, though. So I just want to say that. Marshall, got yours. Evan, you also asked. Oh, that was the second time through. And we got Marshall's. Fly for Steelies. Thank you very much for the super chats. I hope that you have a question down below, but I appreciate you contributing to the channel. We appreciate the support around here. It goes a long way for Jeff and Aaron and Dan and Danilo and I. So it's a team effort around here. Mike Daniel, it's not a coincidence that Thuney got a 5-year. Whoop. Scrolled too far now. Want to get Mike Daniel's question. There we go. It's not a coincidence that Thuney got a 5-year deal. They are trying to pair him up with a draft pick, and that's certainly fine. There is one in particular, one center that I really like in this draft class. I don't know if he's going to last to 63. I kind of doubt it, but if they move back, he would certainly be an option. I don't know that I'd select him with 31, but I could be wrong. They might choose that. Jody OZ, thank you for your super chat. I can't really display it here. It doesn't look like, because I'm not caught up in. Oh, yeah, I can. Jody's where I got caught up, so that's good. Appreciate it. Ask a question about, and I'll come back to you here, hopefully. And then let's see, Jay. Thuney's versatile. Do you think that they have decided where they want to use him, or wait to see where needed? I think clearly they have an idea. If they can get a center in the draft that they like, I think that will seal the deal, and he'll be a left guard. If they can't, or if they have decided they have bigger issues, maybe they'll let it fly. They'll let Allegretti stay at left guard. I actually think the best lineup is Allegretti at center right now, but that is a question mark. I know that they've worked on him with it, but they haven't solidified that. So I don't know that it's going to be there. We will find out, and they can certainly slide around here in the draft. Thuney's impact is only 4.5. You're absolutely right. Okay, next super chat. I want to make sure we get all these. Marshall, I prefer the Chiefs take a strong safety over a corner to better utilize the big nickel package. Well, a strong safety isn't a big nickel. If you're putting a safety in there, 220, 225 pounds, that's a little nickel. That's what they've done. That's been the problem, quite frankly. Now, people are going to tell you about Koromoa from Notre Dame. He is a guy that is not a linebacker. He is a strong safety, and I'm perfectly fine with that. He's a great player. I mean, he does things that Dan Sorensen does, but better. The difference is that they would have to train him to play at the back end to be as versatile as Dan is. But they did it with Dan, and I don't think Dan's that great at it either. So there's certainly room for that. Push Snead outside and let Matthew play closer to the line. I don't like that. I think Matthew's best reps are when he's in robber off of the line of scrimmage, about 12 yards deep, like so that he can show cover two and shift down where he's under, or he can start there. That's where I like Tyron the most, and I think that's where he makes the most plays. But yeah, there's definitely stuff there. I think there's some safeties farther down, quite frankly. In fact, there's even one corner that I think they can convert to safety farther down, third round, fourth round, even a fifth maybe, that I think are going to be way more bang for the buck than trying to do something high in the first 65 picks with a strong safety. Got Jays. All right, who is next? Got Marshall's next one. It's Najee. How are you, Najee? Do you think the Chiefs will approach Frank Clark about restructuring his contract to free up some space, I assume, because he's not playing up to standard? I don't think so. Cheers, Odell. This is going down well. My first time today. I don't think they're going to do that. I think Frank is underperforming, and they need to bolster him with somebody opposite. You're going to hear more about that later in the week. I already recorded something for you guys. I think it goes up Wednesday morning or Thursday morning, one of those. But if bolstering him with another edge rusher, a bookend, doesn't work, then Frank's time will come to an end in Kansas City. And so you don't want to prolong coming to the end of that contract. You don't want to push money down the road where you're stuck with a big either dead money or cap hit if you do decide that it hasn't worked out and we have to move on. So I don't think that they're going to restructure Frank. I think everybody else is on the table, and I still think Tyrann Mathieu and Tyreek Hill extensions are in the works as well. Those would also free up a ton of money. So that's where I'm at on that, Najee. Thank you. Marshall had another one. Did I miss it? Maybe I did. I prefer the Chiefs to take the strong state. Okay, I got that one. I got Najee. Okay, Brother Rick is next. All right, I want to make sure I'm getting all these. Do you think that the retirement of Anthony Sherman means that Darrell Williams moves to fullback? I think it would be nice. Keep Damian Williams. I mean, if you really need it, I can certainly see that. Quite frankly, if they're talking about a guy that just fills in as a fullback because they don't use it that often, I'd put Colin Saunders back there. I'm not even kidding. He's done it before. He's caught passes out of the backfield. We saw him play linebacker last year when they were out of bodies. I think it's a great match because they don't use Anthony enough. And in the meantime, I think they could use, like an H, like a guy that lines up off the line of scrimmage. John Lovett's available. I'm just saying, Brett, bring him back. But someone like him is definitely a pick. Tommy Tremble's one of those, and I know Aaron definitely loves him some Tommy Tremble. Let's see. Frederick, folks, if you're not super chatting, hold on. I will get to you guys as well. Okay. Frederick, thanks for the super chat. You nailed my last thought exactly. So well done. You beat me to the punch. I'm sorry. Scott Meza, no news on Sammy. I think it's pretty dark about him coming back. I would not expect it. Stevie, thank you. Member super chat. Appreciate that, Stevie, as always. Possible offensive line configurations. Free agent left tackle, Thuney, Allegretti at center, LDT Niang. Sure, that could work. Free agent left tackle, Thuney, Allegretti, Niang, and a draft pick. I don't think that one will happen. It could work, but I don't think so. Reunite Thuney and Andrews, something else. I don't know about Andrews. I think it's swing for the fences time. I think, the talk about Niang taking reps at right guard last year, or just never to get a rookie that they're really high on some NFL reps, even if he didn't have to be the starter at his natural position. I think he is the right tackle now. Unless something goes wrong, he is at right tackle. I don't think he's in the mix at right guard. And that is mostly because you have LDT back. Now, if LDT comes back and he's not either in shape enough to play or has lost a lot of his strength, and that's easy to do when you're not training with your team all year, I think that could facilitate a change, but I still don't think that it's Niang. because I don't think that they can go free agent at both tackles or a mixture of draft picks as well. I think they want the guy that's in hand. He at least has had the playbook, has had that kind of stuff. I know he hasn't been into the building, but there's that. My best bet, I think, is your first one or possibly the second with either, I think at the end of the day, it's Niang and LDT, and then it's either Allegretti or Thuney, center and left guard. Oh, and Dan made it. I told you guys that he would. Great question, Stevie. Dan's here. He's playing catch up, but it looks like it's working. So we'll see what he has to say here in a minute. We'll get to the next super chat because he looks a little bit busy. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing all right. A little stressful trying to figure out where everything is from the movers, putting stuff in random boxes. But
right.
I don't currently have internet either. My phone is acting as my hotspot. So I might just have to cut out randomly at some point throughout this, just letting you all know.
Rock on. My fingers are crossed. Oh, it'll be fun. We're hitting a ton of the super chats. They're already starting, so we're just kind of going down them. I wanted to get Jeff's, though. Do you think we now can look at the other O-line with pick 31? This doesn't change anything, does it?
I don't think so. I think that this is still pretty obviously you want to get your guards. If you get two legit, like, experienced guards in Thuney and LDT, you can kind of help out some of the younger guys on the interior, as the center as well as the tackle. So you figure you get Niang at right tackle, who should have, I know he took the year off, but he's probably still got the system he's been studying, I would imagine. And then you bring in a tackle at 31, possibly. You're going to have guys that can already be there to help. And I still think they're going to bring Remmers back, who's also going to help Niang, in my opinion. I
agree, and I think he's going to need it. I think it's going to be a tutor situation, and I'm all for that. Marshall, I'm glad that you're back too, and we should catch up. Thank you for the super chatting, though. I always appreciate that. We all do around here. Let's see, Dylan, your super chat. Who's your current favorite free agent and draft player right now? Well, Judon went to the Patriots, so there went that plan. I'm not huge on Carl Lawson. Davis went back to the Chargers. Dan, who's your favorite free agent right now?
Curtis Samuel.
Okay.
But it's really not close.
That's all right. Hey, fits a lot of different roles. My biggest draft crush right now is, I don't really do the crush thing. That's Danilo's thing. We will get to that, though. I promise. Let's see. Let's go to the next one because I didn't scroll fast enough, and you guys are flying in with these faster than I can keep up. Let's see. Mike Daniel got that one. Got Ozzy's. Thuney's versatile, said Livingston. I prefer. Got that one. Got that one. Got that one. Marshall. Okay, Dylan Krukman. That was your last one. Okay, so your second one was. Oh, you did it twice. Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate that. I will answer you twice. My favorite draft player overall right now. I mean, who wouldn't want Jamar Chase?
I mean, yeah, but realistically speaking, who is your favorite?
Okay, realistic favorite. Okay. That's a very good question. People are calling me. Stuff's going crazy. Who's your favorite player out there right now in the draft?
So at 31, I think that you've got a couple different options to go. I think Newsome out of Northwestern's an option, especially if you start showing up the offensive line a little bit. You can maybe take a shot at one of the defensive players that's going down the draft process. But if we're sticking on offense, I think Terrence Marshall Jr. is going to be there at 31. I do, and he is I think he comes in as a legitimate guy that could be what Sammy Watkins brought to you, but as a healthy version.
Dude, I like the way you're thinking. He is next on my list. I actually have him above Bateman, and I know you're going to hate me for that.
Nope, I do too.
Oh, do you really?
He's my wide receiver 4, yeah.
I am shocked to hear that. Okay, rock on. We're not so different. I love it. Gooch, I'm glad you're back. Williams is still in the mix for the Chiefs. You are absolutely right. I think 4.5 against the cap next year does not preclude them from anything. So I am pumped about that. We're back on track for the supers. Let's get all the supers done, and then we'll get back with everybody else's questions. Brandon, thank you. Would you have taken Njoku if we had the chance to match the contract, and is Melvin Ingram a possible signing or too expensive?
Is that supposed to be Ngakoue?
Oh, is that supposed to? Okay, I read that as a joke. Okay, Ngakoue.
I think it's supposed to be.
I would not have signed him to that big of a deal.
No.
I don't think he's that good. I think the fact that what you saw happen after he left Jacksonville tells me what I need to know about the player. And quite frankly, Spags wants somebody that's going to crush that pocket, not go around it. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Melvin Ingram, I don't think he's a fit myself.
Unfortunately, he's not.
What's a nice way to say this? I don't think he's consistently a game changer. There's a reason he's the guy opposite Bosa.
I'm sorry, you're going to hear my dog drinking water.
Take away. I was waiting for you to tell me I'm crazy.
No, I would love to see Spags take a little bit of a different path. And I think at this point in Ingram's career, it's feasible to think that he can come in and be a rotational pass rushing player. And I truly believe if you can match him with a power guy on the opposite side and have Chris Jones, I think that's a legitimate option for literally a situational or rotational player on this defense. But as we know, Spags loves his long-armed, 265-pound defensive ends, and Melvin Ingram does not fit that profile.
Yeah. I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd grab Von Miller. I mean, but I'd rather run smaller, speedier guys. It's just not the way that the NFL is working right now. Tom Brady.
I would just use
him. Well, yeah, I mean, just crush the pocket. Tom Brady is the reason. 2.1 seconds. That's what you have. Edge rushers are at a disadvantage at this point. It is about crushing interior defensive linemen, as far as I can see. Thanks, though, Brandon. Eric Peregrine, grab your back. Thanks for the super chat. I am ready for a revenge tour. I'm certainly glad that they got all their guys back in Tampa Bay so that, you know, when the Chiefs actually have an offensive line that's put together, they can let's just replay this whole game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I try not to look too far down the road. They technically brought in a guard for a position they already had. So they still have to address tackle. You have to bring Mike Rammers back, in my opinion, because you saw how he played right tackle last year. And you have to figure out the center position, whether that's going to be Allegretti or whether it's going to be a draft pick. So there's still work to do on this offensive line. I also am not putting my eggs in the Trent Williams basket, guys. I'm not doing it. I'm not that I wouldn't want him in Kansas City. I think it would be phenomenal, but I'm not going to put my eggs in that basket. He's 33 years old, and I don't necessarily see them wanting to bring an older guy that you can't really give a longer contract to, especially if at the end of a 5-year contract, he's 38 years old and you could see more injuries happening along the way. So if it's a short term, like 1 to 2 year deal, I'm in.
Yeah. 3 years. I could even go. I will say this. I looked at some of his film today. He played last year like he was 3 or 4 years younger than he really is.
Yeah.
So I will give him credit there. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. Gooch, thank you again. With Thuney and possibly Williams, do we go after Waddle and Surtain now? Yes.
Why are we trading up? We don't need to trade up.
Folks, if you didn't know, Gooch is a big Alabama guy. I just want it out there.
It's pretty obvious, I think.
Hey, at 31, I mean, I might even give up a 6th or 7th. I'd go up to 26. I'd go up to 24 and take one of those guys. I have no problem with either of them. I'm not going up any farther than that, though.
Well, yeah, they're not going to be there in the 20s anyway.
My point, yeah. If they fell that far, if it was a rock in a pocket and they're falling down the chart, maybe. That's all I got, Gooch.
If Waddle slipped to 20, maybe you think about going and getting them.
Fair enough. Marshall. Okay, so I thought Big Nickel was essentially replacing a slot corner with a safety. No, it's replacing a linebacker with a safety. A true big nickel is 2 linebackers, 4 defensive linemen. The little nickel is one of each, safety and linebacker. And then the dime is when you just bail on the whole concept of having a second guy in the front 5.
There's just one linebacker.
Right? He's all by his lonesome. And if you're going to have one, Zaven Collins is one to have. I'm just going to tell you guys that. If they want to stay with the dime and they want somebody that can rush or drop into coverage, I'm all about Zaven Collins. Yeah, not Micah Parsons. Parsons, you have to blitz him every 3rd down if you're going to leave him out there by his only linebacker.
Yeah, which means you got no other linebackers on the field.
Okay, Evan, thank you again. Man, you guys are on top of stuff tonight. I am trying to keep up. I'm sorry I'm doing such a bad job. I asked what player the Chiefs could draft would be the most value? You answer what positions. Okay. What player could be the most value? Whew. I'll tell you this. It would be a slight reach to draft Creed Humphrey at 31, but I think 3 years down the road, they'd be okay with that. You'd hear all kinds of BS right now because he's probably only graded out in the 40s for me, probably upper 40s. I don't know about you, Dan.
Yeah, I've looked at some of his tape, and there is some contact strength issues. He's clearly a zone center.
Yep.
He's not going to be a people mover like Landon Dickerson. He's not going to come in and be a nasty center for you. That's not what he's going to provide. But he does fit the scheme, and if you're going to surround him with some guards that can help him in the run game, yeah, you're going to be able to get away with that. But I know a lot of Chiefs fans don't want to hear a center coming in and being just his own scheme center. You want a guy who's going to come in and be a people mover. And the reality is that Humphrey is not that. He's very smart. So you're going to see a lot of him using leverage against defenders and seeing them on the ground. That's what he does best, is using his intelligence and reading of the defense to really get himself an edge in what I've seen so far. So
I will say this. He is the athletic center that they like. And if he plays like he did in college in terms of being able to move his feet, change the angle, then he'll be perfectly fine.
100%.
It again just won't be blow somebody off the line. So, and honestly, I mean, Thuney can do a little bit of both, but I don't think Thuney's like an absolute power guy. I think the Thuney signing tells me that they're staying with zone first. They'll throw in a little gap or power.
Yeah, but he's definitely got the strength to move people. Like he's definitely got that, and he's shown it multiple times.
Okay, so let's get another for Evan because I screwed his question up the first time. What player could the Chiefs draft that would be the most value?
At 31, I'm thinking wide receiver would be the most valuable because someone is going to fall, I think.
Let's flip it. Let's do 63.
At 63, I think you're probably going to see Jabril Cox there. You might see Dylan Moses, so one of these linebackers that have the athletic traits that are falling because of not having great seasons. For Dylan Moses' example,
aren't that great. Dylan's traits are not that great.
No, but you know what I mean.
Behind Jabril.
It's just, I think Jabril Cox is what it's going to be.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I don't mind a couple of the safeties. I think they're going to fall. I like Javon Holland. It's a player that I think can be that third safety if they're not going to bring back Dan Sorensen. I'm perfectly fine with that. And I'm just going to take Dan out for the moment. He won't mind. Or maybe I'll try to make him like, what are the extras? I'll put him back in and we'll put him over there till he comes back. Javon Holland is a safety that'll go in the second round. Certainly should be there at 63 that I think can play a number of things in this defense well. It's just not the free. It's not as good as Moehrig in terms of playing free and coming all the way down. Although Moehrig's not a perfect player either. So let's not get too carried away with that part either. And you're going to hear a lot of people ask that question. Okay, so I skipped ahead. I got behind. We're going to go back to Marshall. Okay, so got that one. Okay, so Gooch said or Landon. I'm glad that we're on first name basis, Gooch. By the way, Gooch, you and I, we're due for a one-on-one. So maybe this week, if we can find a time, let's get together. And folks, that's one of the membership perks. If you're one of the elite members, it's one-on-one time. We get to talk all kinds of trash and hear me cuss out loud a lot. It is what it is. So back to Justin Rhodes. Thank you for your super chat. Do you think the Chiefs will be looking to acquire a wide receiver to replace Watkins and Robinson? Do you see that as a draft or free agent acquisition? I think clearly the priority is the offensive line, and they're going to add that in free agency right now, and they're going to backfill. I don't know that they're going to go after a free agent wide receiver. I know Kenny Galladay said something about being interested in that kind of stuff. It's the way that it comes out. I don't think that that's it. I think it is a draft position, and I think they will do that. There are a number of guys in a number of positions. Okay, I got Gooch's about Williams still being in. Okay, glad we got there. Then Brandon asked, okay, I got that one. Never mind. Got that one. Evan, okay, I got yours. Man, Evan, I'm sorry you had to say that so many times. I apologize for misreading it, and thank you for super chats that you had to repeat. I apologize. That's not my normal thing, and I will try to rectify that for you. So ask away. Greg asked, thank you for the super chat, Greg. Another member question. If we get Williams to go with Thuney, would you say that they've shored up the offensive line? I would. I would say that then your plan is to have Allegretti at center. Maybe you draft another one. Maybe you draft another tackle to be the backup for Niang and just see how it shakes out. But I think you're pretty short up in terms of who's going to be on the field for you. I'm pretty comfortable with all of that. That is a stretch, though. Dan's not wrong. Like, it's got to be the right kind of deal. And I wonder if that's what, though we heard the interest was there first and then the Thuney signing got done, that either means that the negotiations for Williams broke down or there really wasn't that true interest. Let's see. Marshall, does Kadarius Toney still last till 31? I'm not sure. I have a feeling he goes before that. He is like, I think, the ultimate gadget player, like beyond Tyreek style. I think he can do a lot. We'll ask Dan when he comes back his opinion on that because he's actually broken down his film already and I have not. Michael Donegan, Landon Dickerson is his name, and Gooch will tell you he's great. I'll tell you that he is injured too often and he is too much of a risk to take at 31. I would take him with the round 3 pick. I would actually move back from the second round and take him in the 70s and feel perfectly comfortable with it, but I can't take him in the first round. I don't think the Chiefs will either. They're not generally a first-round interior offensive line team. Holly, thank you for the super chat and glad that you're here. You mentioned Frank Clark needs someone to elevate his performance. Do you think it is feasible to find that person in the free agent or draft? Yes, absolutely. I would have loved it to have been Judon because I think he had that nice mix where he can move around. He could be a little bit of a speed element, a little bit of a power element, but they can certainly find that in the draft now. I don't think the value is going to be out there in the free agent market for the defensive ends. I hope the Taco comes back. I think he's still developing, though. I think you need a primetime starter, can do it all right there. And then Taco and Mike Dana can be the backups. And if they're your rotational guys, I am certainly in on that, full steam ahead. Thank you for your question, though, Holly. And John, thanks for pointing that out. 700 folks on an off-season night. I appreciate that. Glad to see you all. If you're not all subs already, make sure you click the like and the sub and the bell notification and consider the memberships because that's when all the holds are taken off. No holds barred conversation in the member chats, the member streams, the Zooms, the whole 9 yards. Let's get to Tevin's question. Thank you, Tevin, for your super chat. If I can click that right. Could a guy like Kerrigan bolster our line enough and at a cheaper rate that the top edges went? Yes, he would. He should be cheaper. He's 32 years old. He was a part-time player last year. And so I do think that he could definitely bolster it. The question is, do they like what he brings enough to pay him what I think the market is still probably over what I would pay him in terms of production for pressure? He's not quite as strong as he used to be, but he's always been pretty good setting the edge. It's about whether he provides enough pass rush. And I don't know that the get off is there like it used to be. So it would definitely have to be at a discount, but yeah, you could certainly add him to the mix. And I don't think that hurts anything. Excuse me, you guys. Okay. We got Greg's, we got Tevin's, got Marshall's and Holly's. We're almost caught up, you guys. I so love it when we get caught up. Oh, we got a new member too. I love that. Want to shout you out. Impact. You all right, Dan?
Yeah, sorry. The little one was throwing a fit upstairs.
Hey, everything's new and different. It makes things troublesome.
Yes, she has been a firecracker for the last 3 days.
Yeah, it is what it is. We had a question while you were gone, and I want your input on it. Tony, does he make it to 31, and do you grab him there if he is?
I personally think he's going to, and I wouldn't take him at 31 anymore. I've watched his film, and it's not that he's not an electric player. He clearly is, and he has the tools and the size to become a guy who can win on the outside. But right now, I don't think he does. I think he needs the natural separation created from the slot or using him as a gimmick receiver to really get those explosive plays. And if you're looking at value at 31, for me, that's not where the value is. Guys like I've talked about, Terrence Marshall, who I think may fall in this draft. If by some miracle Rashad Bateman were to fall to 31, that's where you take that. Or you wait until round 2 and you draft Diami Brown, who is probably better than Tony is. And I think he's one of my personal favorite wide receivers in the draft. And you can get him at 63.
I haven't watched him. Are they similar? Because I said a little bit ago that Tony reminds me of like the complete gadget guy. He can run behind the line of scrimmage. He can do all the things that Hardman and Hill do together, but in one player. Is Brown?
I can see that. Brown is a completely different player. I think he actually can attack all three levels of the field. He has vertical speed as well as size and catch point ability, not only with the short area quickness that he has. He's just stuck in an offense at North Carolina that does not allow him to do a lot of route running. But when he is asked to, I've seen him run a couple whip routes and things like that require some of those shorter area quickness, and he can create separation. He can also break tackles very well, and he blocks his butt off just every single time. Like he's a little over 6 foot, almost 200 something, like 205 pounds. Like he's going to be an X in this offense, not only for their own purposes, but can also stretch the field and do everything like slant-wise to attack over the middle. I love him.
I agree with you, and I'm excited to hear that because I haven't done his film.
You should watch it. Watch the Virginia game.
Yeah, okay. I'll put that in mind. My homeboy, I'm not sure who you're talking about. I think I said that about Creed Williams. I might have said that about somebody else. I don't even remember. Creed Humphrey.
Creed Humphrey.
Lord, I'm losing it. So clarify it, and I'll give you my reasoning. You don't have to agree. You can be wrong. It's fine. Daniil Hunter. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he wants out, but you're talking trade. That's not a free agency thing.
No.
You're talking about giving up draft capital, and I'm not here for that. Dave Perez made it. Welcome back, Dave. Haven't seen you in a while. Stevie just asked too, is tomorrow night the member Zoom? No, tomorrow night's supposed to be a video. Quite frankly, with all this happening, I didn't expect the Chiefs to really do this. We'll do a live stream. I don't know if we can get together for a Zoom on short notice tomorrow night. Maybe we can. Dan doesn't have a connection, so we'll probably push the Zoom off till next week, which is what it was originally scheduled for. But maybe I'll do a live stream tomorrow instead of a video, Stevie. Let's see. Curtis, would you take a trade up in mid-late to get Darisaw? Darisaw's an interesting one, and I've only taken a glance at the tackle so far because Dan did all the work already. So tell me what you think of that.
Man, Christian Darisaw is a man. Like he's one of the more athletic guys that I've seen, especially for his size. Like he's the biggest tackle in the draft, and he can move. The problem is at Virginia Tech, you have a competition issue, and they're not very competitive, so he takes a lot of plays off. Like he's just kind of like that, and there's some issues, at least mentally, with that aspect. It's probably not going to linger into the NFL, but I'm not a proponent of trading up. But if you're going to go get somebody, you go get Slater or you go get Darisaw. Like you do it.
I would have Eichenberg above him still.
Yeah, I do not.
You do not? Okay.
No, I like Eichenberg for what he is now, but he has zero. I think he's got zero upside. I think he is what he is. I think Darisaw.
Yeah, he's at his ceiling.
Upside is still through the roof because of his natural athleticism at the position.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm trying to lock it down like right now because I don't want to gamble on guys that have to develop. You know what I mean? At 31,
team, I get it. But if you're trading up, you're going to get potential, not a guy who's going to be starting right now just because,
ain't no trading up.
No, I don't want to pick up.
Damon, just answer your question. I don't think they're going to be interested in AJ Green. I don't think he has anything left, to tell you the truth. Didi, Quinn Miners at center, sure, in the third round.
Bring him in.
I had somebody ask me if he's going to be there at 31. Yes, he will definitely be there because he's not that good. He's a third round player at this point. But I will say this: if they trade back from 63 at all, I would grab him in the 70s. And I think certainly if he lasts to 94 or whatever their pick is, I would certainly grab him there. Josh Jacobs, how many more linemen will the Chiefs sign in free agency or the draft will be in the starting lineup? Possibly one, possibly two, because I do think Remmers comes back, and I am counting that, even though it's their own free agent. Am I wrong, Dan?
Yeah, that's about what I see too. He's definitely, if they want someone, say Niang, they don't think Niang is ready. I think that makes perfect sense to bring Remmers back and have him be the starter. But otherwise, he's literally a perfect depth piece, someone that can be the sixth man up, and you don't have to worry too much unless he's playing left tackle. But then I think you're okay otherwise. So I think that they're still going to take an offensive lineman at 31, and that's going to have potential to start as well, because you're going to obviously have essentially a competition. You're not going to draft somebody at 31 and say, look, you're the starter. That's just not going to be what they do, in my opinion.
Yeah. There's lots of questions here. I'm not trying to skip you guys. I just want to make sure the super chatters get their money's worth. So you guys, so don't hold it against me. Hubert, I've started looking at him. I've seen maybe one game so far. He's interesting, but I don't think he's a game changer. As a mid-round guy, I'm certainly fine with him. We'll see what happens. I know a lot of you guys are K-Staters out there, so that's that. Impact, if I didn't shout you out before, I want to make sure I get you on screen. Welcome to the memberships. I would not pay for Will Fuller. You're not going to get him on the field enough for me.
Pay, maybe not, but I'd take him like under 10 mil a year, no questions asked.
I'd take him under 7.
No, I would take him at.
You're not going to get any more snaps out of him than you got out of Sammy. I'd rather have Sammy.
I completely disagree with that, but okay.
Okay. All right. We'll flip a coin. We'll see who wins. We'll put the over under at 600 snaps. Mark Lawrence, thank you. Oh, wait. Did I miss something? No. Okay. I got that one. Okay. Mark Lawrence is next. Okay. Mark, do you think that the fact that Frank has not been part of the restructure group signals he may be cut next year? Also, why Matthew has not been extended? I don't know that it means he's been cut or that they think they're going to cut him. I'm saying that they're not going to tack anything onto the end of Frank's contract. If he can't turn it around, they're going to walk away when they can walk away, in my opinion.
That makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not entirely sure why Matthew hasn't been extended yet. That's possible they're talking about it, but there hasn't really been much confirmation that he's going to be extended yet. They could still have time to do that.
I actually have heard from 2 sources that do feel it is definitely on the top of the Chiefs' platter. But
you kind of figure he would be there. But I'm just like,
yeah. And they are supposedly close from what I've heard. But that this stuff this week, they either had to get it done last Friday or they had to shift and do this free agency thing, and then they'll come back to it. It could even be like if everything goes right for them, they might even do it after the draft. It just has to happen basically before the fall. In case he could be what makes their, slush fund, that $6 to $8 million they're going to carry in case they have to sign guys during the season. That's my thought anyway. Don't read anything into it. It's fine. Josh Jacobs, welcome to the memberships. Glad you're here. We'll have something tomorrow night. Brandon, if Keith Pay, Quiddy Pay?
I think that's supposed to be Quiddy Pay, yeah.
Okay, cool. Look, I read one right for once. Would fall, would you trade up for him? Do you think that there's a free agent plan there with all this cap space? I'm a little surprised they went for the offensive line versus the edge rusher. I thought there were more edge rushers out there that you could get on a deal. That said, Quiddy's good, but I'm not trading up into the teens for him.
It really depends on how far he's fallen because, like you said, it's going to cost you a lot. I love the Giga Hop. I've literally got it in my phone.
I forgot to shout it out. Boulevard. Everybody that works at Boulevard, I always hear when they're like, "You had one, you didn't say anything." Salute. Here's to you guys.
It's so good. It's so good. But Quiddy Pay, if he's getting close to 20, I can understand it, but I really don't want to trade up. I think that you need to start building through the draft a bit more for the future. And if you start trading up just because a player that's got a lot of talent is falling that way, I think you're going to lose out some other players that you might be able to, max out your roster with.
Yeah, I'm with you. Adam, thank you for your super chat. Brandon, thank you for yours as well. Do they go after Carlos Dunlap? Carlos has been more resilient than I thought he would be. But again, he doesn't move the needle for me. If you're looking somebody to lock down the edge and play the run, you have Mike Dana. You could put your eggs in the basket and hope that Taco Charlton becomes the pass rusher that I think he can be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I go out and spend for Carlos Dunlap.
Depends on how much it's going to cost, though. Like if we're talking like $5-6 mil a year,
right? Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is all about what that number is.
Yeah. If he's asking for like 8, 9, no, you can go to some from the Jets. Like we just saw Davis go to the Jets. Corey Davis. Everyone wants Corey Davis. Now he's at the Jets because they have more money to spend. He just got like over $11 million a year. No.
And he's Corey Davis.
Like, no.
Yeah, the Jets are going to do Jet things.
That's fine.
Yeah, enjoy it. Chris, I'm glad that you bring up Riley. He's kind of like my backup guy now. If they want a free agent tackle, he's the value, I think.
Yeah, especially if you want a guy, say you want to wait on tackle in first round, you wait till like the third round and you get a developmental guy like James Hudson out of Houston. You can bring Riley Reef in and have him start left tackle and use some time there to build up these younger guys and get them experience. I think that's a good way to go about it, especially because he's still going to give you above average tackle play.
Yeah.
So you can still win. You can go out and try and win a Super Bowl. It's not going to completely deficiency, you know.
I'm totally with you. I had to fix the camera there, folks. I didn't realize I was jumping into your laps. Voodoo, yes, I like him at 31. I don't think he actually falls that far. Dan doesn't seem to like him much.
I'm
You're
out on Russo on 31. I don't know.
No? Okay.
I don't see it.
I like the length, and I think, honestly, I might be projecting a little because I think Spags is going to like him.
So, for me, I've seen quite a bit of this edge class in passing, and I don't think that there are very many actual round one tackles. Edges. I think there are a lot of scheme fits, body wise, and what Spags looks for later in the draft. And I'm not taking one at 31, especially a guy who really the production doesn't really meet what he's all about.
All about? I don't know what you mean.
Just like his frame and everything that he was talking about coming into this
he hasn't reached his potential.
No.
He's a whole lot more bark than he is bite right now. I'm totally with you on that. But if you had to go get an edge, he's a guy at 31 that I could see being there that I could deal with.
I can see Ojulari being there.
I don't think he's the fit though.
I can see that because he uses
speed outside linebacker guy, you know. But I wouldn't mind it. Though. Yeah. You might put some more pounds on him, but 235 he played at? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah. You can bump him up a bit.
Yeah. Tanner, I know a lot of people haven't talked about it, but do you think that there's a chance that Shaquille Griffin could be on the table for a free agent? I actually don't. More and more teams are going to that system, and I think he's going to get overpaid, to tell you the truth.
That makes a lot of sense, especially because that's basically what the Seattle Seahawks have been known for the last decade. Outside of running the football, and Russell Wilson has been their defense. So that makes a lot of sense that he's going to have a chance to get overpaid, and he's probably going to want to get that money.
Yeah, but as he should. More power to him. Fly for Steelies, welcome to the memberships. Glad that you're here. Like to see it when you guys are jumping here. Mike Talon, thank you for the super chat. Is it possible that they take a linebacker in the first or second round? Absolutely.
I like second round. I think Baron Browning. I think there's going to be Pete Warner. I think there's going to be Jabril Cox. I think there's going to be options that could fall, especially if they, trade back.
We're going to have a linebacker special. I don't like any of the Ohio State linebackers until the third round.
I want Baron Browning a lot.
I don't. He can't turn and run.
Okay.
He cannot play their defense. If you're going to send him or you're going to ask him to play laterally and then go downhill, I'm fine with it. But if you want him to drop 8 to 10 yards, no.
Oh, I think he covered great at the Senior Bowl. I think he was great in coverage.
Oof. I did not see that. We're going to have to watch the film together. But, folks, this is why we give you different opinions. Jacob, thank you for the super chat. This move frees up space to take Bateman at 31.
Man,
again, if he's there, that's fine.
I would think it's wishful thinking, but I mean, I've been firmly on the top 20 train for Rashad Bateman since last year.
Yeah, I think you're the conductor. You got the little hat and all the 9 yards. Benjamin, yes, I would take Creed in the second round at 63 in a heartbeat. Kyle, just got on. Do you think the rumors of us going after Trent Williams are true? I think there's interest. I don't know if that may have fizzled out, and that's why the Thuney thing got done. Andy H, love the mask. Glad you're back. I missed the beginning of this hot mess, and I have 2 questions for you. No, I am not. And I wish I had some pictures. I should have. I got 42 inches of snow in the last 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and buried the ATV with the plow blade on it. Shorted out the switch for the winch on the blade. It's been a absolute cluster. And so I told my wife, she's been down in the city camping at Grandpa's with the kids. Because we had some family stuff over the weekend, so they went down in preparation. And I just let them come back tonight. So I'm gonna have dinner with them here when we're done tonight, you guys.
Wow.
But thanks for asking, Andy. And I love your the avatar you used.
We had the same storm you guys, most of you in Kansas City had that passed by the tornado thing, and it brought some hail. It passed right over Whiteman Air Force Base too. I think at the eye of the actual storm was almost over my house.
Dang, that's crazy. We got super chats to fry. Good Lord, we're getting late. Okay,
all right, let's go.
Jimmy, do we sign a veteran tackle or trade for one that's not Trent Williams? I think Reef would be like I said, the next step. Beyond that, I don't know if is there a third that you like, Dan?
Not really. I think Reef and Williams. If you can get Williams, like we talked about, in a smaller deal, maybe a little bit less than what is the rumored number, I'm all for it.
Okay. Let's see who's next. Deo. I hope I keep saying that right, because I keep saying it the same way. You're gonna have to tell me if I'm wrong. Thank you again, and welcome to the memberships and the super chat. Thank you very much. Wow, I did not expect the Thuney signing. Brett Veach is a musician. He's a musician and a magician. I like that. And I wonder who's next. I mean, that's the big thing, is by structuring these small base salaries in the first year. In this year in particular, it allows you to like hold your breath until you find out what the cap's going to be next year. It's going to go back up to where it was if they get fans in seats.
Yep.
It's likely going to go up 10 or 12 or 15 million beyond that if the new contracts come through. So like you could see this cap jump 35 or 40 million dollars next year.
Yeah,
so
that
I think
Disney contract is big.
Yeah, right. I mean, and the Amazon Thursday night thing could be enormous as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy's got billions and billions. Jeff Bezos. Want somebody to like spear that? Let me know. I'll take 1% of 1%, bro. Let's see. Jody didn't get a question, but I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. I feel terrible when those things happen, but I can't.
Brian can't help it.
I have guilt issues. It's my thing. Avery, I'll come back to that. I like Trill, but it's going to be later.
Yeah.
He's not a corner in my mind. He's
We're
one of the guys.
Fourth, fifth round.
He's one of the guys that I would move to safety.
Yeah.
And I like him there. Yeah. But definitely fourth or fifth. I'm with you, Dan. Ian, I'm late to the chat, so it might have been answered. Do you see Chaos Rehab videos? Yes, we saw them. Do you think the Thuney signing means what does it do? It means that he's likely not going to return.
Yeah.
Unless they're slotting him for the center spot, in which maybe they bring him back as like the super interior backup and they let him fight with Allegretti. But I think they're pretty happy with Allegretti.
Yeah, that's what my opinion too. But I think that they're going to move him to center, if anything. I think that this 100% is a move to solidify left guard, because it's been, kind of a rotation the last 3 years. You've had Irving, you've had Wiley, you've had Allegretti. Now you don't have to worry about that. You can have him be the stalwart left guard. He's never missed a game in his NFL career. He's going to come in and be what you want, so you don't have to consistently change out your left guard position. Maybe you get Allegretti at center, who's still young, has some room to move at center, and you can kind of move forward with that.
I like that plan. I'm not sure that Allegretti can be as optimal at center as he is at guard.
No, I agree.
So I am a little concerned about that. But I will say this too. You just triggered me on something. Having a rock at left guard is something that Eric Fisher wish he had.
Yeah, exactly.
And whether it's Williams or a rookie, that lets you develop and maximize what you get out of your left tackle. Yeah. Because he's there, and I'm all for that.
It's been a problem.
Yeah. Jake, thank you for the super chat. Support the channel. Thumbs up. Thank you. Yep, the thumbs up always helps. That tells people you like it. Excited for Thuney for sure. Maybe we can get some tips about how to break Brady apart.
We already know how to. You just got to get there.
I think the bigger issue, and I got into it. I made a statement, and people started correcting me. Yes, Eric Berry defended Gronkowski well once. Gronkowski's had the Chiefs' number, plays or touchdowns his whole career, except for that one game. Yeah. I think he's the bigger problem. They've been able to stop Tom without Gronk before. So I'd be more
concerned too. Like they just bring a run game, and the Chiefs just don't really do it.
Well, and that's what Thuney brings too. You can run behind him. So
that's a big thing. Like we saw Clyde tweet out after the signing, like he's excited about this because you're getting a guy who's going to come in and be able, you can run behind him.
Yeah.
Get someone in there like Riley Reef, I think, or a tackle in the draft. You can run behind that left side. You can actually run there.
Knock on wood. I hope that they do it more because I think they're going to continue to see light boxes. I think they have to.
And I think that's why they brought Thuney in. Yeah. You're going to have to run the ball more just because people are going to drop everyone into coverage and force you to run. So you have to be able to do that now.
I'm so with you on that. Scott Hayes, thanks for the super chat. Yes, Jody, right now, because they said they're not going to tender Dion, Jody Fortson is your tight end too right now today.
100%. I'm all in.
I don't know if it stays that way, but he is the tight end too right now this minute.
I know they have interest in Brevin Jordan, but that's going to be a second-round pick.
Yeah. That's the cool thing. It's a two-edged sword. There's a ton of talent in the second and third rounds, you guys. The bottom half of the top 100 are packed.
packed.
But you only have one pick. Like,
Yeah.
my mock drafts keep doing the same thing for the same reason, you guys. If you can get into the top 60 to 120, you can get guys on the field. That's what it means. Michael Donegan, what are we doing at linebacker? Absolutely nothing right now.
You guys see with Anthony Hitchens and Willie Gay, 1 and 2 right there.
Right? They are treading water with Hitch right now to let him fulfill that contract. And quite frankly, I thought Willie developed a little bit slow. Maybe that was a trust issue. Maybe that was a learning issue. I don't know what it was. He's got to step up, and he's got to be able to be on the field without Hitch this year, or it's not going to work, and he's not going to be the middle. He's going to be the second linebacker.
Yep, he's going to be a will unless he can actually get on the field and learn the system without Hitch there, like you said. It has to happen.
Swords, thanks for the super chat. Behind and watching on video on demand. It's exciting to hear your thoughts. Well, I appreciate that. Dan doesn't always agree with you, and that's why we have debate. But thank you. Douglas, Brown or Hudson if we go round 2 developmental guy?
I love both of those options. I think Spencer Brown and James Hudson are both great options. And I'm actually, since I'm finally going back to the offensive side, I'm going to deeper dive into some of these more developmental guys. Like if I can find some Spencer Brown, it's going to be more difficult because he's at University of Northern Iowa. So that's going to be some things I got to work out. And Hudson, we have Houston film apparently, but it's not being uploaded properly. So
I'll tell you this, I've looked and I haven't been able to find it all 22 at all.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding. So we'll do what we can.
Who's the other one?
I like these guys.
The other guy that I thought was going to be a second rounder that actually stood out athletically the other day was Cosme from Texas.
Okay, I think he is a second round player.
He could be a dev guy too. Okay.
But he's going in the first round. I think he's going to be gone before 31.
You think he will? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So at least we agree on where he should go. We'll see where he actually does go.
Yeah, exactly. Like I saw some of the same issues that we've seen with contact strength, and he's a 100% zone tackle. And you need a bit more for me at tackle to really take you in the first round.
I can't argue with that. I just worry that the Chiefs will not put that limitation on it. So, Douglas, got yours. Holly's up next. Scott, I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I just got to make sure that all the super chatters get what they're paying for. So I will come back to you guys. I promise. There's just so many of them tonight. I'm struggling. Appreciation. Thank you for being here on Snow during Snow. I appreciate that. Yeah,
thank you.
It's always a challenge. Thank you for the super chat and the support. We do appreciate it. My children are 10 years older than yours. She's 2, right?
Yeah, she's 2.
Okay, so my kids are 10 years older than yours, and I wouldn't want to move with them. And I'm gonna have to do that soon. So I'm not digging that. Is the West catching up with us? Good question, Adam, and thank you for the super chat. Ngakoue is interesting with the Raiders. What does that tell you about Mayok's first draft pick, though? Because
absolutely everything. It was,
and I like
bad.
Mike Mayock. I thought when Mike was in media, I thought he was the best of them. I'm surprised.
It's always been bad. As soon as they took him at 4, it was bad.
Yeah.
Farrell, we thought we were going to see Farrell at the end of the first round. Like I had been looking at him like this is a guy who could be here in the 30s. 4.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Brandon, thanks for another super chat. Appreciate it. Marvin would be great. He's going to be priced out of Kansas City, though. I guarantee that. And the cap space does not mean Breeland will be back. Breeland's been on social media saying it's pretty much over. So do not expect Bashad to be back. And it is what it is. I like Bashad. He's definitely got some holes. It is what it is. They will be okay. I mean, they need to pair somebody with Snead because I think Ward will get tendered. Somebody asked earlier, I saw it in a glimpse when I was trying to hit the super chats. Ward hasn't been tendered because they don't have to yet. They have another week or something. I think it's like 4 days after the new league year or something like that. So it'll come out. Not a big deal. Sorry for your third double box. Ooh, I like that. Double boxed? Those are hard to find. Do you think Jody Fortson will ever step up to tight end, or do we need to sign someone expensive like Henry? Jody, I wouldn't sign someone expensive, but I do think they need to invest in the position in the draft. Dan
they're
doesn't
probably
care.
going to. I don't think Henry makes any sense, especially after you guys saw what Geno Smith just signed for today.
Oh,
and
my
I don't
God.
think Geno Smith is that good to be completely
And I would
honest.
have liked to see Jonathan Smith in this offense for half the money that he just
Yeah,
signed
like
for.
he reset the tight end market for guys who aren't at the top. And actually, I think he got paid more money, more guaranteed money than George Kittle did. Like that you no.
He got paid better than Kittle and Kelsey. It's ridiculous.
They're not going to piddle in the free agent market at tight end. They're not doing it.
And hey, a lot of people made a lot of hay, and I even retweeted somebody. Bill Belichick spent more today in guaranteed money than he has in the last 8 seasons or something like that. He didn't necessarily do it well.
No, he didn't. You guys look at their offense. It's a Madden startup ultimate team. That's what that is. They went and they paid Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah. Good luck with that, Cam. Okay. Do you think Ben Mason is worth draft capital to replace Sherman and play a use check role? I like him. Yes. It depends what draft capital you're talking about.
7th round. Fullbacks are going to be there.
Yeah, because I was going to say Juszczyk was what? Was he even drafted, or is he?
I'm not entirely sure. I think he may have been drafted, but if he wasn't, I mean,
I like
Ben Mason's an option.
And this is what always throws me because I like the kid from Wisconsin too. His name is Mason Stokey.
Yeah,
keep an eye on him too, you guys. But yeah, definitely 7th round UDFA guys. Certainly, I think they need something. Stevie says, thank you, member Stevie, and for the super chat. Ben Newton of CBS reports that the Panthers are in trade talks for Anthony Hitchens. Wow, more power to him. Who's Ben Newton?
I don't know. I've never heard of him.
Me either. I hope Ben knows more people in scouting than I do. I would love to find out what that is. But hey, if you can get value in a pick back, there's enough linebackers here to pick in the 3rd round even. That I think.
That's a fake report, guys.
Okay. Sorry, Stevie. It happens sometimes. Michael, thank you for the super chat. Looks like your question came after. Even with your background, wouldn't you agree that Landon Dickerson's injury history may have something to do less with him and more with the lower level college medicals? No, I would not. Medical departments are there in college to keep you strung together. They do not pre-screen. They're not. Once you have injury history like that, especially with shoulders and knees, offensive linemen are at a disadvantage. So I would not say that has anything to do with the staffs. Kenneth, thank you. Welcome to the memberships. We'll have something fun tomorrow night.
And we can talk about something different.
Well, yeah, that is definitely different. Yeah. Jody, Dan, I understand I moved to Virginia this weekend. Thanks for being out there. That's a haul. I have family out there too. It's
thank you, Jody. Appreciate
that. Alex, thank you for the super chat. Free agent corners that will be available to us. The good ones are gone.
I think Casey Hayward is available.
Like I said, the good ones are gone. I don't want Casey.
You may not want him, but you may be stuck with him.
I don't have to sign anybody at corner. I am perfectly fine going to the draft.
I get that. And they clearly are too, because they can scout guys from just about anywhere and get what they want, much like they can with edge.
Aaron, I'll give you a rundown of my top 5 corners. I don't know that Dan's done them yet, but these in no particular order.
No, not no particular order. They have to be 1 to 5.
Surtain. Farley, Horn, Newsome, and I am so stuck. It's either Samuel or Stokes right now. I don't believe Stokes' times, though. I don't believe any of that crap.
I don't care about the times.
From House of Athletic. I don't care what you guys saw. I want those numbers confirmed. That's BS.
His pro day, it's not going to be the same. It will not be the same.
He ran 4.24 down there. On tape, he runs a 4.5. I swear to God. Tyson Campbell outruns him every time. What's that?
I do think he's a bit faster than that, but he's a guy I really like, and he was probably my 5th. And if we had a crush option, I think Horn is like my guy. Like JC Horn plays the position the way it should be played.
Yeah, you and me both. Look at you coming around. I like it.
You got to get in people's faces. That's why I don't care about the holding penalties.
I'll put it this way. JC Horn is A more aggressive Pat Surtain that actually can get over the top.
And you want to know what? He talks in your face every single snap. He beats you. He's just make sure that you know, hey, guess what? I just beat you. He gets in the wide receivers' heads.
He does. He's good at that. But he is more grabby.
I don't care.
He does get faked out. He bites on doubles all the time. I'm just
younger Rashad Breeland.
Yes.
That talks a bit more.
I think he's more athletic, though, I will say.
Well, clearly. Like I'm just saying, like right now, like when you're talking about the overall arcing things that happen, he's grabby. He can get beat by double moves. That's just kind of what he is.
Yeah. And I got a couple special. When we reveal our top 10 corners, I'm going to do mine, then Dan can tear it apart. That's the way we'll do it. Because I have specifics that I look for, and they're not quite the same as everybody else. Second question, Ian, thank you very much for another super chat. Can't type all at once. I agree. I can't type at all. I can't spell for nothing. Again, have been answered, but is Thuney signing, is Andy retooling the line specifically to run more? I don't think specifically, because I wouldn't say that Thuney's a run-first guard. No. I think he can do it all. And I think Thuney in particular being a left guard and a center, and everyone wants to throw out that he played college snaps at tackle. I don't think he's a tackle unless everything's melting.
He's a tackle the way that Cam Irving's a tackle.
Don't even start me.
He's not a tackle.
Cam is the best $10 million cheerleader there is. I'm telling you that right now. But here's the thing. He's versatile. Whether you think he can do something or not, he's versatile. He can get in there and at least mix it up. And I think that, again, plays into exactly what the Chiefs are looking for at all times, every time. Let's see. Did we
start in football? You're going to be on the right path.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Ian's. Okay. So we have one more that I evidently missed. Anybody in between? Good point, Aaron. Yeah. No, 700. I know we're over the hour, folks. We're going to wrap it up here. We have one more super chat, and I'll hit the last couple of questions. If you asked a question before and I didn't cover it with somebody else's super chat, ask it right now with the question marks in front, and I'll nail it before we're done. And yes, you guys, Brit Chief is back and active. Go check him out as well. We did have a good time in there the other night. AP was there as well. Alex, any chance we re-sign Fisher once he's healthy?
I don't think so.
It depends what they've done. If they've gone into the season with a draft pick as their starter and Remmer's playing the swing, I could see him coming back. That said, I don't think that happens.
He's also gonna have to take a pretty drastic pay cut, because that's the biggest reason that they cut him, is because they were making a lot of money, and the guy's coming off of injuries and hoping he will be ready for the season. They're just not going to cut it over 30.
I'm totally with you. Alex, is Frank a fashion designer or a footballer? That's a good question. There is a certain point in a career where distractions become a problem, and maybe that's part of the issue. We don't know. I still think it's a health thing, but I have no proof of that.
I mean, look at Le'Veon Bell. He started rapping, and then he couldn't play football anymore.
Yeah, and
I don't know any truth to that. I'm just taking shots, so I apologize.
so by the way, are we over veteran running backs coming in? I am. Done with it. I told you guys AJ Dillon last year. He's a fullback body with tailback speed. It would have been perfect. I say cram it down their throats out of a 3-back set.
You want to take him in the second round?
No, I'd take him in the 5th where he belonged.
Yeah, but they took him in the second round last year.
I don't care.
The Packers did.
I'm not saying that the Packers didn't make a mistake. I'm saying I would have liked to have had him.
Aaron Jones, because that makes sense.
I know, right? Hey, yeah.
I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money.
End time Elijah, thank you. Could I always say his name, Nizrildeen? I always say that too fast. Could be a replacement for Dirty Dan in the Chiefs defense. I literally just did his film the other night. Let me pull him back up, because there were some things I saw and there's some things that I didn't like. What I literally said something in my notes about Sorensen.
That's funny.
He didn't produce on the ball as much as I would like. And there are times when he doesn't look as athletic as other times. Like, he's very inconsistent about his breaks, about how he accelerates. So I need to have his testing to know. I will give Dan credit. Dan is very instinctual. And if he feels he can get to a ball, he'll go get it. And I did not see that out of Hamza. And I just call him by his first name because I can pronounce that pretty well.
I got nothing on the guy, guys.
No, I know you haven't looked at him yet. You'll cross-check me later. Let's see. How much money do the Chiefs have in salary cap? Brandon, I don't know right now. We'll have to see what the update is. when we find out the
I think they're
details.
still like roughly 31 at 30-ish, something like that, because of the $5 million that hits. But again, like this is all speculation. There's nothing been firmly said. This is how much they have because they still have things to do.
Well, and they said Kelsey restructured, then he said he didn't. And so we don't, I mean, I'm sure it's in the contract and they will, but it hasn't. Like, so I don't know where they are right now. Brandon, what's the Chiefs' plan with all this cap space? Protect Patrick at all freaking costs.
Yep. Draft wide receiver at number 31.
Yep. I mean, hey.
If they get a tackle.
If they get a tackle in free agency, then it becomes
a wide receiver, I think.
It becomes a wide receiver or an apex defender.
Maybe edge or corner. I can see that definitely being there.
Yeah, I have trouble going linebacker at 31 unless he's really exemplary, and there's no one in this draft for me. So
not doing it.
Okay, I'm glad that we're at least there. Let's see super chats. Make sure I get everyone in. Go back to the spreadsheet. Got Brandon's. Got that one. Got Ham's a question. Okay, so we're gonna finish off everybody else's questions. And we'll get there. Trent Williams or Trent Williams now. Pie Dessert, I'm with you. If they can make it work, I'm down with that. Oh, wait, you had a second part of the question, too. What mid-round O-line or would you target if we go receiver early?
Brady Christensen.
Yes, athletic tackle, fits the zone perfectly. He is a tackle, right? Did he play guard at all?
He may have, and I think he looks like he could play guard just with his natural athleticism. Because those are the kind of guys you can kind of move around. I would definitely play him at tackle first to see what you got. But there's some guys there, and we talked a little bit about Spencer Brown. Walker Little is a guy who's probably going to be available later because he didn't play his senior year. I don't believe maybe 1 or 2 games in the opt-out or something like that.
Did you see him frog jumping with 345 the other day?
Yeah, he literally has the tools, but I think he got hurt his 2019 season or one of these seasons. He hasn't played a full season in like 2 years. So I think that's what it's come down to.
Yeah. The athleticism's there. I think the know-how is there. It's about whether he can actually do it. Gary, I like the idea, but no, there'll be no trading.
I highly doubt it.
There'll be no trading. They just can't afford it. They got too many things to do. Chiefs go defense at 31. It's possible, again, if they sign a tackle and there isn't a wide receiver that they have on their board at that level.
Yeah, if there's a wide receiver they got ranked over a defensive player, it's going to be a wide receiver at 31. Like that's just how it's going to be.
I haven't watched Bledsoe yet. He's way down on my list. I don't pick schools. It's how they're ranked by guys that I trust as how I go down it. Or if you jump off the tape to me, Dan, have you even looked at him?
No, I haven't done much on the other side of the football, but I'll try to get to safeties and stuff like that after I can get my internet back.
I will tell you guys, I did do Gillespie's tape. He's a day 3 guy for me, probably mid-round day 3. He's not a free. I think if you brought him down, he could maybe play robber. He can definitely play strong. He just doesn't have the sideline speed to play free in the league. He does hit like a ton of bricks, though. That's kind of nice to see. So strong, I'm good with. Thoughts on Chuba as a 4th or later option? Later, I'm good with.
So here's my thing about Chuba is he's a track.
I
think it's Chuba. I think there's 2 B's there. I don't know. Maybe there's. I don't know.
I feel stupid saying it that way.
He's a speed guy. Okay. Damian Williams is going to be on this team next year. He has breakaway speed, and I think they're set at running back personally. But if they want to cut, Darwin Thompson or Darrell Williams, which I don't think they're going to cut Williams, I think that it would be more Thompson or for somebody else. Then okay, see what you get, see what you got, maybe.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I don't know. I'm kind of worn out with their running back situation right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. And here's the thing about all the opt-outs: you don't know what you're getting until you get it.
Yeah.
So you never know. Jonah, 3rd round wide receiver. Whew. It's not a spot that I would take. I was going to say, like 4th to 5th, like 5th. And Gooch, of course, had to say it. Yes. Or was it Aaron? No, it was Aaron. I do like Schwartz, but not till the 5th round. Like he's not
refined in any aspect. He's just a straight line speed dude.
He's a tool in the tool bag. He's got one thing he does well. He has to learn the rest. He's like a more raw McCole Hardman.
Yeah, it's not really what you want. I think Amari Rodgers is an interesting option. For me, he's probably going to go higher than he actually should be. he doesn't look like he can be a starting like receiver in the NFL. He looks more like a Dexter McCluster type player. You can play in the running back. You can kind of be a slot when you want him to. He can do some different things for you. That's why he's been kind of at his pro day. He showed at running back too, because I don't think he's going to be able to play just wide receiver. I think he's got great moves. I think he's a great guy, great hands, but I just don't see transitioning him creating natural separation on his own. I just don't see it that much.
That's where I'm at too. And that's why he chose to run running back drills at his pro to be able to show that. Yes, we like the Thuney signing. Unsure about the rookie center thing. We'll see if that happens or if they move Allegretti. Allen, no, Hardman is not the 2. He will not be the 2. It's not in the future.
I don't think he can be a 2.
He's a slot receiver. That's what he is.
Yep.
And honestly, if he doesn't start running his routes all the way through to completion and running them where the quarterback expects it, he won't be a wide receiver 2 either.
Nope.
I'm pissed. Like, I had faith in the guy, and I'm pissed.
See, I did too. I loved what he brought out of college, and there's just been no real development that we've seen. We've been stuck.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you, that's for sure. Chase, Houston University, Grant Stewart. I haven't watched him. Could be a Sorensen replacement. Okay.
Replace Sorensen.
I tell you what, if Sorensen doesn't come back, you go watch a kid from, I think it's South Carolina, who plays corner, who's going to be the next big safety that they can play with. I am so high on that position change. It's kind of freaking ridiculous. Creed or Dickerson? Humphrey all day for me.
No, I'm taking Dickerson, and it's not close, guys. I think that
no. Take it off the film. We're not talking film grades. We're talking what will he do in the league.
I still think Dickerson's going to be better.
I don't think Dickerson plays. I think he's an injury his whole career. I don't think he holds up.
We'll see.
He's too nasty. He's going to keep hurting himself. Is the reason I say that, because he is better on film. I totally agree with that. I just wouldn't spend it.
It's a safer pick to take Humphrey. It is.
It is. If we pair Trent Williams and Thuney, how do you approach the draft if you were Veach? I mean, Veach isn't going to be best player available, but that's what I do.
Give me one wide receiver, and then just draft defensive players. That's all you have to
do. Jake, I still don't think so. I think this team is always going to draft offense first. Have you guys watched Bledsoe? No, we answered that one. Answer the Chuba question. Chuba, I'm going to try to say that. Good Lord. Andre Sisco to replace Dirty Dan. Everybody wants to replace Dan. The thing is, I don't mind Sisco. He's like a top 85 for me. Like, he could go anywhere from 85 to 120 as far as I'm concerned. Okay. He played free a lot, and I don't know that I like that so much. So yeah. What did I say? But I'm not giving away my notes yet. We'll run that down in the top 10. I shouldn't give away everything, should I?
No,
Jonah,
you gotta leave something.
Would you take Lyman or Mason, or Lovett or Mason?
Mason.
Lovett, yeah, Lovett can't get healthy. I love the concept of the guy. I haven't seen him do a damn thing.
Mason can block, dude.
Yes, he can. Like, it hurts me to watch him. Okay, let's see who else. Thank you, Aaron. Earlier, a question, how do we get comp picks? It's a really complex formula about who left last year as a free agent. You cut a guy, you don't get nothing. He's got to leave as a free agent with an expired contract, and it's about how much he plays. That's why they got something for Fuller, who played a ton, and they got something for Agba, who didn't play as many snaps, but was really productive. And we don't know what that formula is.
We'll never know.
No one will release it. They won't tell you. So
it's like the owl with the Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pops. The world may never know.
Right. Let's see. Hufanga or Paris Ford for the Chiefs? Right now, I would lead towards Hufanga, but I haven't finished either of them. I've watched like one game each. I'm in the middle of the safeties, and I'm crossed with the edges right now, so I'm not getting that fast, you guys. The snow kind of screwed up my whole weekend. Let's see. Damien is a cut candidate only if he comes back out of shape. Otherwise, he will be the veteran backup to Clyde.
I fully believe that.
Oh, wow. Avery, really? You have a lot of good film takes. I don't see this.
I don't see it either.
No. You're going to have to show me, bud. Dang.
And I like Mark Rodgers. I'm probably a little bit higher than a lot of people are, but I don't see that.
Next member Zoom, we're going to have you on. You're going to have to show me some of that, Avery. I want to see what you're seeing. I want Cisco the Chiefs. He's a player. He is a player. And he has ball skills. They did fall off through his career, though, if I remember correctly. Had a breakout freshman year, and I think it kind of fell off from there. Now, COVID and the whole thing, I get that. That's not necessarily. Trenton, I don't think they'll actually pick one. No, I think it'll be a UDFA.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you like Chris Long? I like the idea of Chris Long. What about you?
I do too, but I think that's firmly out the window now.
Yeah. I mean, if LDT wasn't going to come back, or you were concerned about his conditioning or his strength, maybe. But I mean,
like before the Thuney signing, I was like, yeah, bring Chris Long and Curtis Samuel to the Kansas City. Like, let's go. But now you got Thuney, the best guard in the NFL. Like, I don't really need Chris Long unless they want him to compete with LDT coming off years off. I mean, okay.
Right. And if it's cheap enough, then more power to you.
Yeah.
But there is a problem. He has a serious injury history. So that's,
yes, he does.
It's a big thing. Reggie, will Breland or Ryder earn us comp picks? I think they will. I think someone will sign Ryder. I could be wrong. And I know someone will sign Breland.
I do
think
a lot of talk about how Ryder is a great option on their free agent market. So yeah, there's a very strong possibility someone takes that bait.
keep talking it up. Let's see. How do you feel about KU's new interim head coach? I like that they went in-house for the interim. I think they have to get serious. I saw people talking about bringing Mangino back. No. Listen, folks, as a KU football alum, I've supported them since I was in school. There has never been, since Glenn Mason, somebody that actually got the whole program turned around. Mangino had help. He's a good coach. They need a big name. I don't want them going to Toledo. I don't want them going to, Youngstown State or whatever they were talking about. They need a big name. Les Miles screwed them over. Plain and simple.
Big time.
But they need somebody of that caliber, that exposure. And I don't care what they have to pay him. I think the problem is that you got to get the AD out of there, and that's a whole different story. And I have friends in that organization, so I'm not going to go there. So that said, moving on, Scott, is there another COVID opt-outs for next season? There will be. I don't know if it's going to be near as rampant.
Yeah.
Tom Brown guard from Alabama, your thoughts? I'm not
if he's going to be if the Chiefs want to switch to a power offensive scheme, go for it. But he's not a zone scheme fit player.
Oh, Deontay. Okay, no, sorry, I didn't. Deontay. Yeah, no, I don't like the way that he moves. He's actually pretty nimble for his size.
Exactly. Like he's like what, I would say 380.
I was gonna say they listed him at 360. He played at 375 easy.
He doesn't move like he has cement in his shoes, but for a big guy. But if you're gonna come in to play guard, for this offense, you can't be 390.
Yeah, no, he doesn't move well enough. I like Wyatt Davis better than him, to tell you the truth. Yeah. Raining tacos. I like it. Raining as in not falling down from the sky, but cool. I appreciate that. Oh, they let him go, Fetty? I didn't realize that. Okay. I did not realize they had separated. So that's a start. Listen, Chancellor, if you need somebody to take things over, I got you. I paid for 2 degrees from your university. I am happy to come back. You got about 60 hours a week from me when I was a GA, so I'm here to help you. Alex, don't know if you've seen it, but Smith Marset, the wide receiver out of Iowa.
I haven't watched a lot of him, but I've heard that he's also got quite a laundry list of off-field issues. And that's kind of the reason that he's been falling. I may be wrong about that. It's just something that I've heard here and there. So if that's wrong, you can correct me. But there's a couple other Iowa receivers that I would not mind taking some options on later in the draft.
Who's the guy who blew up last week at that House of Athletics, whatever? Like the best thing he ever did was jump?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
I can't remember his name, but people started talking to me about how he's a first-round pick. I'm like, I've never heard of the guy. So clearly his on-field performance does not even rate anything.
Yeah. Someone might be able to tell us in the chat because I can't find it really quick.
Yeah, I'm not there. Let's see. We got to wrap it up, you guys. Dinner's on from what I hear upstairs. Could Deontay play center? I don't know that he ever has. I don't know.
It's quite a. It took Miners a whole year to teach himself how to play center. Plus, you have to figure they also have to learn calling out blitzes, recognizing defensive coverages. They have to be able to learn all of that stuff. So if he's never played center before and doesn't necessarily have the mentality to grasp all that, it's kind of out of the question.
Yeah. Mitch Moore said it was the hardest thing he ever did is moving to center. So that tells you. Yes, his name is Riley Reef, and he is out there. Can Tommy play the H back too? Absolutely. And he blocks a ton of bricks out of the H.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Aaron's right on him. I do like him.
Yeah.
What rookie DT do you think will have a better season than Turk Wharton? I think he is such a diamond in the rough for a UDFA. Wow. Okay.
Oh, he's asking from last season, I think.
From last season.
I'm not sure there were any.
Yeah. I would say he was the best UDFA in the league.
Yeah, he was one of the top rated defensive players from the entire draft class. So
yeah, the whole class. Okay, cool. I was out there. Thoughts on Danny Manning becoming KUAD? Let's let him coach basketball before he takes over a whole athletic department. If you like Diana B. Brown so much, is it so crazy to use the 31st pick on him?
So that's really going to depend on your value, because I think that there are, for example, Terrence Marshall's more valuable at 31 for me than he is. There's going to be some tackles I would imagine that are more valuable at 31 than him, and because you also have to configure what the league thinks. We don't really know what that is, but I've seen him climbing up boards. Like from the start of this process, he was a 4th round pick. Now I would be very comfortable taking him at 63, like no questions asked. That's going to continue to go up until the draft hits. So we're going to have to kind of see how that works. But if it gets to that point, I got no problems.
Rainy Tacos, last super chat. We're going to wrap it up here, folks. Would you go after Williams at 20 mil, given that he's 32 years old? I looked at a little bit of his film from San Francisco from this season before, and he played like he was 28. I'm okay with it. I don't feel that he's broken down, but no, I would not spend that right now. If he'd come in for 18, I'm down.
Yeah. It's got to be under 20 for me. It's got to be under. I just can't see it.
And that's not reaching. The Patrick Mahomes effect is real. You want to win a ring? If you're a guy like him who's made all of his money, he's been on several teams, he got his way out of where he was that he didn't want to be.
Going to get paid.
All he needs is that ring, man.
Still going to get paid at $18 million a year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Looks like most of the rest of these have been answered. We'll do more draft stuff on Thursday night. Danilo's going to do that one with me so he can tell me how every 5th round pick should go in the 3rd and what I'm doing wrong. We will have lots of discussion. I hope you guys will join us. If you're new to the channel, click the like and the sub and the bell notification. Join us Thursday. Members, I'll stream for you tomorrow night, especially all you new guys. And Gooch can give me static for whatever I said tonight that he didn't agree with. So that'll be fun. Dan, I hope you and the family are settling in. Thanks for trying to make this work. I'm glad it did.
Definitely trying. And if I can find a way to get them out here to get my internet up earlier, I will have something for you guys this week. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to be a problem and a possibility. So we'll see.
Gotcha. Chief Channa, it will be out as soon as I have the class done. Because it's the pro day thing, I don't have any data yet. As each pro day goes on, that's when we're getting the results. So as the pro days wrap up, the matrix will be out late this year, but it will be done. No problem. I will tell you that one Oklahoma center has already put himself in the elite of the elite at that position. So keep an eye out for it. Thank you guys for joining tonight. We'll talk to you Thursday.